How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to another episode of Transfer Tea on the channel Whiteboard Soccer. Today we got lots of rumors and a couple confirmed deals to get through. If you do like the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Today's question of the day is, do you think POGBA is going to stay at Manchester United, or do you think he's going to move on to another club such as Juventus or Real Madrid? But anyway, let's jump right into it today. First transfer we got coming up today is Christian Eriksen from Tottenham Hotspur to Manchester United. So according to Evening Standard, Eriksen is Manchester United's first choice replacement for Pogba if he were to leave. I think that this would be a fantastic transfer for Manchester United. A bummer for Tottenham, but it looks like Eriksen's just about on his way out of there either way. It just depends on where he's going to end up. And if we lose Pogba, we're going to replace him with somebody who's got just about the same goals and assists in the Premier League each season. And if anything, he's more consistent than Pogba day in and day out, just with his playing style alone. So I think that this would be a great deal. I mean, he's got the amazing weak foot and good skill moves and great vision. So if United can bring him in if Pogba leaves, great signing on their part. Next up, we got Rodrigo going from Valencia to Napoli. This guy's been linked with a couple of different teams so far this transfer window, and the interest from Napoli is actually really surprising to me, given that they're trying to bring in James Rodriguez. They already signed Manolas, and they were looking at Icardi. So all of these different links are just showing that Ancelotti really wants to challenge Juventus for the title next season, which will be very difficult as they've brought in, they have Cristiano Ronaldo and have a good chance of bringing in Matthijs de Ligt as well. So I think that Juventus still are going to be a tough team to beat, but I like the ambition that Napoli is showing in the transfer window. I think Rodrigo could be a good signing for them. A lot of pace, pretty strong, good finishing, and I think he could be a good alternative pacier option to like Milik, for instance, and they could leave Insigne and Mertens on the pitch and still have pace up top. So overall, if Napoli can pull this off, great signing. I gave it an 8 out of 10 because he's still relatively young, 28, and he's a proven goal scorer in Europe and in La Liga as well. Next up, we got Mesut Ozil going from Arsenal to Fenerbahce or not. I recently reported that Arsenal have been looking to get Ozil off their payroll, and it looked like Fenerbahce were going to come in and save the day. They were going to bring in Ozil, they were going to offer him what he wanted, and they were going to save Arsenal's day and give him some money for him. But it's now looking like this is not going to happen, as Fenerbahce have rejected the Ozil rumors. This is just sad because a couple of years ago he's linked with Turkey, and everyone's like, why would he go to Turkey? He's too good for Turkey. And here we are a couple of years later, and Turkey doesn't even want him anymore. So I think that for this guy, it's really sad. I give it a 2 out of 10 if he does transfer, because he's 30, and I really don't see him wanting to prove anything to any Turkish league supporters if he does go there. I think that at this point, Ozil should be looking to either, go back to a high-level team and just accept a bench role, or just accept maybe like an MLS transfer or something along those lines, where he can still be, a top-class player and have the confidence that he needs. But overall, not a great signing if it does come off, but it's looking very unlikely. Next up, we got Adoma going from Aston Villa to Nottingham Forest, and this is a confirmed deal. They got him on the free transfer. He's 31. He's right-footed. I gave it a 6 out of 10 because it was a free transfer. And the only reason I don't give it higher is because, it's really not that much of an upgrade. He might be a good role player. I know that he's been on a couple teams that have promoted in recent years. So, he's a decent player, but overall, on the free, can't complain. But I don't see this guy, giving too much to the team that they didn't already have. So that's why I get to 6 out of 10. Next up, we got MANDŽUKIĆ being linked with a return to Bayern for 20 mil. I don't see this move happening. I don't know why Bayern would want to bring in MANDŽUKIĆ again. He's really not the player that they need or that they should be looking to bring in. I think Bayern are in an interesting stage of their club history in terms of rebuilding. They have a lot of aging players. They have a lot of young talent as well. And they have, Robin and Ribery retiring. So it's kind of like the end of that really dominant Bayern team era. I mean, we saw last season Dortmund were close to getting that title off of him. So I give this a 2 out of 10 on transfer quality just because of the fact that he's 33. And it's a lot of money to spend on somebody that isn't going to have a lot of time left. And they already have Lewandowski. They already have Serge Gnabry. I don't think that they need to bring in a 33-year-old to, get a couple goals off the bench. But so overall, not a great transfer if it goes through. Next up, we have Lamina. And I just talked about him yesterday going to United, but the rumors are now heating up. Apparently, Lamina is aiming to push through a move to Manchester United now. And it's looking like the club is willing to work with him. They want him out of there because he's apparently not in their team plans for the future, and he's already requested to leave. So they're like, all right, let's just get him out of here, get in some money. They would be reported to accept a fee around $22 million, which is relatively cheap for a player that's 25 and, has played in a Champions League final before. So I think if United could bring this guy in, I give it an 8 out of 10 on transfer quality because he's got experience. He's got a lot of talent. He's still young, and that's a really decent price for a really good Premier League proven midfielder already. So all in all, could be a good signing. Next up, we have Jensen going from Celta Vigo to Brentford. This is just about a done deal. It's for $4 million. And I think this could be a good signing. I give it a 9 out of 10 on transfer quality because he's young. He has a lot of upside, and he's got very, very high potential in terms of what attributes he obtains. He's got good weak foot. He's got good vision. I think this guy could bring a lot to Brentford. He's already been in La Liga, so he's got experience at the top level at a young age. And for $4 million, you can't really beat that price for a midfielder with a lot of potential. So overall, could be a good signing for Brentford. Next up, we have another confirmed deal. This one is Tielemans to Leicester for $50 million. I give it a 10 on 10 out of transfer quality because this is a fantastic transfer for Leicester. He's young. He's talented. He chose them over United because he feels he can develop better there and get more playing time there. And I don't disagree with him on that. This guy has a lot of talent. He's got good vision. He's great with both feet, good dribbling, good physical. He's got a good shot. I mean, this guy really showed on his loan spell last season that he was capable of playing at the top level if he had the backing of the coach and the team, which I think Leicester will give him that, given he is their record signing. So I think that he's going to be nothing but turning into a world-class midfielder at Leicester. And who knows, maybe he'll still end up at Manchester down the line, but only for $100 million instead of $50 million. So overall, good business for Leicester. Great signing. I can only see this improving their squad. Next up, we have Lukaku staying with Manchester United. This is the first time he's not being linked with a move away from Manchester, rather being linked with a stay in Manchester. And it's been reported that Kleberson has said it would be a huge loss for United if Lukaku was to leave. And as a United fan, I do see this being a big loss for us as well because, I mean, this guy can get you 30 goals a season easy. We saw it with Everton. He's got a lot of potential. I think he just needs a lot of confidence in him, and I think that if you give him good service, crosses in the box, low or in the air, or you just get him in on some through balls, he's very strong, he's really fast, and he's got a great finish on him. I just don't think that United were using him to his strengths the last couple seasons, playing him into feet. He's not really much of a holding striker, whereas I think he's a great, counter-attacking striker as well as a great striker that can finish crosses into the box. So overall, if he does stay, I think it's a good deal. I give him a 9 out of 10 in transfer quality. I think it's about 50% that he will stay because it seems like, he's on the preseason tour and he looks relatively happy there. And I think Solskjaer, he's the only one that really knows what's going on behind the scenes. So I think that if he wants Lukaku, he'll get his man to stay. And lastly, we have POGBA, but this time being linked with a move to stay at Manchester United. And I also have this one at 50% because, I mean, all of these transfers kind of depend on other moving parts. It's very complicated. But I do give this a 10 out of 10 if he does stay in terms of transfer quality because, I mean, Pogba's world class. He led United in every single stat last season. And I think that the way he plays is just his playing style rather than him not giving effort in every game. I mean, this guy's potential is through the roof. He's already fantastic. And I think that he's just going to go up from here with more confidence and a better holding midfield behind him, as well as stronger defense. I mean, if United can bring in a center back and a holding mid, then I think that Pogba would be looking much more deadly next season. So if they can keep him, that would be fantastic for Manchester. I think that the fans will get behind him again. I think that everything would be golden if United could keep hold of Pogba, especially given they're not in the Champions League, and if he does leave, they're going to have a harder time bringing in a like-for-like replacement. Even if ERIKSEN does come in, he's still not quite a Paul Pogba, and even though they're about the same age. But overall, it would be a good move on United's part if he's willing to stay and willing to put in the effort and willing to be a professional about staying there for another season at least. But overall, could be a good transfer. Really just depends on what Real are thinking and how much money they have left to spend after all the big money moves they've made this summer. But anyways, that's it for today's transfer video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe if you're new to the channel. I thank you so much for watching another day of Transfer Tea, and have a great day. Thank you.